UKIP spokesperson Mark Reckless.
Diolch, Claire. Last week, the Sunday Times published its parent power tables of including the top 400 state secondary schools across the UK, weighted by GCSE and A-level results. Is the Cabinet Secretary happy that the top Welsh school in that ranking was 182nd?
What is important to me is the progress that Welsh schools are making. Members should note that last year Welsh GCSE results were exactly the same as their counterparts across the border in England, but I am not content to just benchmark our education system across that in the border. I want to benchmark our system with that is the best in the world, and that's why we continue to work proactively with the OECD to ensure that the reforms that we are undertaking will allow us to reach those ambitions.
I thank the Cabinet Secretary for her answer, and of course next year and afterwards we may not have the opportunity to make such comparisons across the border, because the GCSE grading system is changing in England from A to G to 9 to 1, and Wales is not taking that path. As a parent seeking to compare primary schools and standards across different schools, I've found that a much greater challenge in Wales than I did in England, because the Key Stage 2 results do not appear to be published in a comparable form that allows easy comparison between schools. Is that the intention of the Welsh Government, and would it not make sense to publish such data on easily comparable forms so as to elucidate rather than obfuscate differences between schools?
Presiding officer, the member has come across from a system that believed in competition. The Welsh education system is based on a system of collaboration and cooperation. It is by working together in a self-improving school system that we will deliver the education that our children need. The data that is available at the end of primary school is primarily there to inform teachers, both in the primary sector and the high schools to which those children will move on to, how best we can support those individual children to meet their full potential. It is not there as a stick to beat the profession and beat individual schools. It is there as a diagnostic tool to assist the teaching of individual children. There is a plethora of information available to Welsh parents on the My Schools website. It looks at a complete picture of the performance of our schools. Data around achievements is one important area, but the well-being of our school, the value added in the school, the way the ethos in the schools are equally important to the parents that I meet and talk to.
I note the Cabinet Secretary's response, but the complete record is not available. I would quite like to look at what the Key Stage 2 results are for different schools across Wales, and to compare what the trend in that and what improvements there have been, and to make comparisons appropriately adjusted between schools, as would many other parents. Yet the system is set up for her and for the profession, yet somehow parents are not judged capable of making sensible and appropriate comparisons. And of course collaboration is important as well as competition, but what on earth is served by suppressing data that should be available to allow people to make proper comparisons? Can I also ask her, just before, because I'm not sure I will get very much in response to that, when we move the GCSE results, we're having a new curriculum, yet we've chosen not to move to the 9 to 1 grading they have in England. Is she not concerned that Welsh students, if not now, down the road, may suffer disadvantage because many will seek jobs in London or elsewhere in England, and as happens now with Scottish hires, and quite often even at quite significant size companies, those results are not necessarily well understood, and after the passage of years or perhaps decades, if in Wales we have students who are graded A to G when they are graded 9 to 1 in England, is she confident that that will not be a disbenefit to Welsh students?
I am absolutely confident that the quality of the qualifications that we are offering our students in Wales are comparable with anybody's. They are tough, they are stretching, and they are robust, and they equip our children with the skills that they need to succeed in the world of work and in further education. Presiding Officer, the member seems to suggest that there is no data available to parents. There is a plethora of information available to parents. There are the Estin reports, which are publicly available for parents to look at. There is the school categorisation system, which is available for parents to look at. It is simply not true to suggest that parents have no access to information about the performance of their local school. It's not the case. There is a wide range of information readily available to parents to see how their individual school is performing. Assessment and test results are there primarily as a teaching aid for the individual children, and they are not there to provide false and competitive and league tables for the member. We believe in a self-improving school system based on the principle of collaboration and cooperation, because we know internationally that...
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.